Jamrod was 6. Jamrod.
Good evening, welcome to the Select Board meeting of July 12th. I'll call the meeting to order at 6:05. This meeting is being broadcast live on BNC TV, live streamed on YouTube. To find BNC TV on YouTube, go to youtube.com and search for Bernardston-Northfield Community Television. This meeting will be available for later viewing by following the link at townofbernardston.org. First order of business is going through warrants. And we've got a few of them tonight because we got 23 and the end of 23 and the beginning of 24. This fiscal year 23 and 24. I'll entertain a motion for the payroll warrant for fiscal year 23 in the amount of $40,874.66.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or concerns on that payroll? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion for FY24 payroll warrant in the amount of $53,225.31.
So moved. Second.
Any questions or concerns on the $53,225? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion for the vendor warrant FY23 in the amount of $364,214.86.
So moved. Second.
Some of the things that we have that made this so high was we had the septic replaced at the library. That was over $16,000. We had the mini splits installed at the elementary school for over $63,000. We had a new chipper that we bought for the highway department at $66,900. And we had a construction work or paving for the highway crew at $175,656. Any further discussion on that? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion for FY23 vendor warrant in the amount of $86,131.36.
I believe that's FY24.
FY24.
So moved. Second.
Any concerns, questions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
I'll entertain a motion for the regular meeting minutes of June 28, 2023.
So moved.
I'll second that.
Any corrections, deletions? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Calendar announcements. Fire and Water District, we meet on Thursday, July 13th at 6 PM, District Office on 295 South Street. Finance Committee will be meeting Monday, July 17th, 2023 at 6:30, Town Hall. Select Board will be meeting July 17th, 2023, 6:30 at the Town Hall. Council of Agent will be meeting Tuesday, July 18th, 2023 at 9:30 a.m. Senior Center. Fire Station Building Committee will be meeting Tuesday, July 18th, 2023 at 4 p.m. at the Town Hall. Special Town Meeting will be Wednesday, July 26th, 2023 at 7 p.m. at the Senior Center. Farmers Market, Saturday through October 7th from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. United Church parking lot. Is there any citizens' concerns?
Can I add something to that? The planning board is scheduled to meet on the 24th of July.
Planning board meeting?
Yeah, and we're actually meeting with Joe Comerford that night too, if anybody would like to join us.
It's July 24th,
6:30?
6 o'clock.
6 p.m.
Yeah.
Okay, remind people, planning board will be meeting July 24th, 6 p.m. at the Town Hall. And at that meeting, Senator Comerford will be here. That's it with that? New business. Cushman Library Story Walk request. The library has submitted a request to conduct a summertime story walk to the Cushman Hall lot. Gentlemen, I'll refer to you on this one. I personally don't think the land that's not mowed belongs to the town of Bernardston. The unmowed area, I believe, belongs to the Department of Fish and Wildlife from Massachusetts, so I don't think we have any say in yea and nay here. And all I know is that we don't want them putting any sticks in Cushman Park where the people have to mow unless they plan on taking them down the same day.
The other concern would be that that area has significant poison ivy in the unmowed section.
Yeah. The best place for it would be the charity lot, but it's out of the way. It's wouldn't affect any of the workers. But I can't vote on this because it's not our property, but if they want to go into poison ivy, well,
Yeah, I agree. I don't know enough about the property line over there to really weigh in on that.
I'm gonna table that. So, all right with you guys?
Yep.
Okay, COA appointment. This is just to notify us that, dear Donna, this letter is to inform you that the most recent town meeting on June 7th, 2023, the town approved increasing the position of outreach coordinator to part-time, benefited at 20 hours per week, effective July 1st, 2023. Gives a working schedule. I don't think there's anything that we have to do to vote on this. It's just a FYI. Okay. BES usage request. Have you gentlemen had a chance to even look at this? This is from Jennifer Stens. They're paying $25 for each week to learn to play volleyball. I guess it's for the people that want to learn this.
Those Bernardston Rec.
Yeah, each week is a different clinic. I'm trying to follow this through. It's been signed off by the principal. It's signed off by the principal. I assume that there's no other thing it's going to conflict with. So I'd be all right with
So it is through the rec department?
And this is just a, this goes along with it, this is a consent release form.
This one's been signed off by Cindy Schultz, the principal as well. This is for the JEHH Foundation to do some basketball skills at the elementary school.
Move to accept the recommendation to use the DES for the volleyball clinics and for the JEHH Foundation to do the basketball skills programs.
I'll second that motion.
Motion made and seconded to approve the BES usage. All those in favor?
Aye.
And I hear no opposed. Okay. I'm gonna we got some other new business coming up, but under new business, we've been discussing a new position for efficient operation of the town hall. And this has been brought up, I don't know, several times over the last 4 or 5 years. With everything that's going on and the increase in, what do I want to call it, regulations and stuff that the state keeps imposing on us and trying to keep our records straight. I think it's time to start considering having a part-time, I don't know if you want to call it a town coordinator slash finance person. And what I mean by that is that I would suggest that if we did something like this, we would have a 20-hour-a-week person, and 15 of those hours they'd be working for Lou in the office, and 5 hours they'd be working as a secretary to the finance committee, coordinating their work back to the accountant, so everything is flowing properly. We're not gonna have Jane Dutcher forever and on that finance committee, and her knowledge, we need to get somebody that I think has some good bookkeeping skills, maybe slash some knowledge of accounting to help out with that group and keep the continuity going. So but I'll leave that, the thoughts up to you guys.
We've been talking about that, getting some help in the town hall for 3, 4, maybe 5 years that I've been on, to help supplement Lou, especially when Lou's away. You know, that could help out Chris when she goes away. Obviously, the finance committee, to have that continuity with somebody as people come through the board would be great to have. Again, with the state regulations, it's crazy the reporting that Lou has to do and some of the stuff. And we get frustrated because we can't get some stuff done, but he's only got so many hours a week to do it. And that was the same thing that happened in town clerk a few years ago, and then we appointed an assistant town clerk to try to help out for the same reasons. I think it's needed. I think we should have this discussion to see what exactly this would entail for a job description and how Jane feels it may interact with the finance committee to see, so we don't make it harder for them. We want to make it easier for them when we do this, to see what everybody's opinion is on that.
Would be a unique skill set to have accounting, some finance skills, and then the ability to handle the regulatory side of it. Be interesting to look at the candidates that would come forward with interest in the position.
And could I ask that we ask Lou to write up a job description on what he feels his part of it would be, and ask Jane to just write up what she feels would entail, or what the kind of knowledge a person that they would need would have to have. So then we could look at it, agree to it, and put a price on it and hopefully put it out for bid. My thought was, and I hate to say this because I've been totally against using ARPA funds for payroll, but for the first year, because we've already gone through the town meeting thing, to put this on the ARPA funds, and then if it works, then we put it out and put it on a regular budget cycle.
That would be a good use of the ARPA funds, because it would get the position filled sooner, so that when Jane retires on September 30th.
I didn't know I was retiring on September 30th, but if you're asking for my resignation, I'll give it to you tonight.
Jane,
No,
you-
I
you
am not
told me
asking for your resignation tonight.
One of the finance committee meetings, you
Why would you say that?
Because he just said I was retiring on September 30th.
You told us that your
No, I did not.
tenure was, okay.
I told you my term was up and I would need to be reappointed. Don't twist my words.
That's what you said. That's okay.
All I'm asking is, you know what I'm asking.
I know.
I'm asking to get some continuity, some help.
Right.
At your meetings, there's always some sort of push back and forth as to who's gonna do the minutes and whatnot. I think this would help you. I think it would also help you when you're putting the spreadsheet together for,
I would like to turn that over to somebody that I knew was going to be here and be able to do it. That would be my,
It is hard to take minutes and participate in the meeting.
Exactly.
Because a finance committee member typically takes minutes. I mean, Chris, you know this, you have the same problem with the planning board.
Yeah.
That's why a clerk
That's
ended up
why
being
I'm
there for the
for-
same reason. Can't pay enough attention when you're trying.
Well, and I made a couple notes after we talked, Stan, and Jane, feel free to supplement any of this, but in those 5 hours, certainly taking meeting minutes would be important. Also, the ability to analyze budget data, because your eagle eye for so many things has helped the town countless times, in the 12 years I've been around. Budget special funds report, and communicates the findings of anomalies in budget reporting or whatever through me to the select board, because I think in a bigger sense, what we're looking at is the need for the select board to be better informed, not just with finance matters, but really town-wide with all the department heads, all boards and committees. It's with the situation that we had over at the library with the failed septic tank, and then one thing led to another, but the board had to really immerse themselves in that. We're lucky that we've got responsible department heads all around, and probably the time of year wasn't bad either, because there are not a lot of other meetings going on. But still, if something like that happened, say in the middle of budget season, these guys are suddenly full-time employees trying to get things resolved. So, not to blather on, but, really to have the ability to have Jane Dutch's eagle eye for things. I don't know how you would word that on a job description, but I think that's key.
okay, so I will charge you with, for the next meeting. We're gonna be busy, let's say and I don't wanna drag this on, because if we're gonna do this, because along with that, we've gotta also post a thing for the town clerk position. So we've gotta get this moving. And try to have something for us for our next meeting,
first meeting in August.
huh?
First meeting in
Yeah,
August.
because hopefully we can look at it, get it wrapped up and.
Because the next meeting is the night we have the special town meeting too.
Yeah,
The first meeting in
so
August.
that'd be very busy the next one, so but the first week in August, the first meeting in August, we should be ready.
Unless we make it.
And and while we're talking about that, could you have something for us to look at for posting for the town clerk position?
You mean the advertisement?
Yes,
Yes, definitely.
okay. Thank you,
And
Chris.
if you have any ideas where to post that, I don't know if is there a town clerk's group?
And there's a lot of them on there already.
I mean, imagine, yeah, no, it's a big problem in the Commonwealth right now, it's huge, it's huge.
Yeah.
Not gonna be an easy fill.
You're gonna
Okay,
have to pay somebody more money too.
Yep.
I don't wanna talk about that tonight.
Telling you.
I know, but,
Here,
thank
No,
you.
you're right.
Okay, moving on, Town Hall Dropbox location. I have, I don't know if I've shown you guys where the
We talked
location.
about what it was, yeah.
Okay. I met with the highway superintendent yesterday, I believe it was, and we discussed, as you walk down the stairs to the left towards the flagpole, we would take out all that grass that is from the step all the way over to the flagpole and a little bit around the flagpole. And we would make that all concrete. So that way we wouldn't have to worry about mowing that, and it wouldn't have to weed whack, it would save us some money there. And then the drop box would sit between there and the flagpole, set back away from the sidewalk, away so people just couldn't walk by and slap it, but they could still get to the drop box. And I believe there's a drop box that you're looking at purchasing, because we gotta purchase this drop box, so Brian will have the dimensions that he can work with to get that in there, and then his crew will get that done.
Yeah, the one that we're looking at, of course, the town meeting vote gave us the ability to spend up to $2,500. Chris found one that looks really solid for about $1,100, so hopefully we're gonna come in under budget on that.
It looks a lot like the one that's down to the library right now, I believe.
yeah, and it sits up off the ground enough, it's got like short legs, so at least when you open the door, you're not gonna open it into snow or anything, it just, because it'll be shoveled, but hopefully the bottom won't be able to freeze.
Stan, is the proposed location handicap accessible?
That?
Is it handicapped?
Yes, that's
Accessible.
why we're doing it, to make it even right with the sidewalk.
But the way you described it, it was away from the sidewalk.
No, it's gonna be back from the sidewalk, so people just start walking down a road and just with a stick or something and slap it. You gotta actually stop and step in a couple steps to get to it.
But it'll be concrete they'll step onto for the sidewalk, right? Is that my understanding? It's
Yeah,
concrete
it'll
above
be
the
all concrete pad. So that should work.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we'll move on that one. The next order of business is,
I have a question.
yeah,
The concrete pad will come out of the same expense account?
came out of who?
The same expense account.
It should.
Yeah, there should be enough from that to do that. Fire station update. We have known for a long time that our firefighters and first responders need a better facility than the cramped quarters that they've been in for over 50 years. The fire station committee has been meeting regularly over the first half of the year, oftentimes with town council present. We believe that we have found a new suitable location for our fire department. And on July 26th, at our special town meeting, that would be the main purpose of that meeting, will be to see if the town will go along with us on proposition that we're proposing. We have an opportunity right now to buy a piece of property that is the site of Raymond Repair at 167 Northfield Road, as well as Zero Maryfield Road that goes out behind it, with total acreage of 24 acres for a price of $1.3 million, with an estimated $300,000 needed for down payment. So it'll bring a total to $1.6 million. We're working through some issues right now with town council, and by the annual town meeting, we would hope to have everything worked out, and those numbers should be correct. The building committee, which includes the members of the select board, finance committee, and fire department, agreed that the plan is more viable as an option than to build and to renovate on the existing location. That was gonna cost us $4.6 million. I will say that the town was gracious enough to give us up to $3 million but, or allow us to go to 3 million. But we just couldn't get the cost down after, I don't know if it was because of, just because of COVID and all the prices went up. But we couldn't get the price down to that 3 million to build a station where we anticipated doing it. And this estimate was 2 years old now. No, it wouldn't be 2 years old. It would, no,
About a year and a half.
about a year and a half. So the prices could have even gone up a little bit more, gone down, but it'd still be around that thing. So I'm hoping that the town will look at this as we were going to be able to spend up to maybe 3 million, and we're only going to be spending just over half of that, if you allow us to do it. In order to purchase to take place, the building committee needs a town meeting approval, and we also need to rescind the town meeting approval of the 3 million expenditure to renovate and expand the existing station. That's more of a housekeeping thing than anything, because we just can't leave the $3 million sitting out there that was on a boat. We need to clean that up. We would be looking at, for the down payment, we'd be looking at taking $300,000 from the stabilization account for that. And then after that, we'd be looking at raising and appropriating $130,000 per year for the next 10 years. Mr. Raymond has been gracious enough to allow us to actually borrow from him to purchase the property. So we won't have to go through a bank. And this is the way the lawyers look at it. Anyway, so that would help us, and we wouldn't have to worry about, perhaps we wouldn't have to worry about interest on the property as well. And the lawyers are looking at that option. But we feel that with the repairs that Mr. Raymond has to do to the building now, it would fit the fire station perfectly. The guys could move in after Mr. Raymond vacates the property. Currently, our fire station is 2,378 square feet, and it was built in 1970. And if we remember, and I can't, when was the last truck we bought? It's been quite a while now,
13 years ago, I think.
And at that point, we had to special order it because we had to get one that would fit into our garage. With this, we wouldn't have to worry about that anymore. We could just order the regular fire truck, even though they're really expensive now too. But the point is that we'd eliminate at least that problem. The station that we were going to build was 7,708 square feet, and that was at the cost of almost $5 million. The new station, or the station that we want to have at Raymond's repair, would be 6,320 square feet, plenty of places for parking, offices, and storage. That gives us almost twice the space that we have now. And with the land, it gives us plenty of room for expansion if we needed it. And if for some reason down the road we had to have a spot for a new highway garage, that would be plenty of ample space for that as well. The other thing is, like the chief said, when there is a serious accident or something in town and they're looking for a life flight, they're always looking for space for the helicopter to come down. A lot of times they use Pratt Field, but this would give us a space on this side of town as well. He has to look at it to make sure everything would be all right for a landing space over there, but that would give us 2 spots that we could use for life flight as well. We'll have a presentation for you at the annual town meeting. Peter Shedwell, the chief, will be giving that presentation, and he'll be able to answer more questions on how the usage of the building will be. But I think This is a great opportunity for us. We will not have to rent space at another facility for $500 a month to house a fire trucks because we don't have room enough for them down here. So we'd eliminate that $500 a month expense. There would be plenty of space for firefighters to have training and different types of training. Looking down the road, they could probably even maybe have a smoke trailer there that they used to have. It would be a place that they could store it for their training. I would say it's relatively close proximity to the center of town. I believe it's only 1 mile from the driveway of the existing fire station to the driveway of the station at 167 Northfield Road. So it's really not going to affect, I don't believe, insurance that much because it hasn't moved that far. So that would also be a good thing as well. Again, we wouldn't have to have, if we do it this way, we wouldn't have to have bank financing because we would pay $130,000 a year for the 10 years. And remember, we've been doing this for the last 2 years. We've been raising and appropriating $130,000 for the fire station for the last 2 years. So that would just continue. So it shouldn't be a big burden on a tax base and all that stuff. And perhaps as things get better in town and more things come online, we might be able to find ways to get money without appropriating $130,000. We might be able to do less than that. Gentlemen, do you have anything to add to that presentation?
I just want to add a thank you to the guys in the fire department that really located this spot and worked with the current owner on what they would need to do over there to make it really be feasible for a fire station. They're doing a lot of the interfacing on behalf of the town through us to deal with the Raymonds over there and make everything work out. And I think another key piece of that property is it accesses on Route 10. It also has an access on Merrifield Road. So it does have 2 access points to the different parts of the town from that one lot, which is just a nice bonus to have of that particular lot.
Yeah, and what you said, Mr. Chairman, and certainly Brian, what you just said, the Fire Station Building Committee was dormant for a few months, and then pretty much out of the clear blue, Peter and the firefighters had proposed this to the committee, and suddenly we've been meeting almost weekly for the last, I don't know, 3-4 months anyway, to try and make this happen. As you said, Stan, it's roughly half the money what the other place was going to be, less than half, for a reasonable amount of space, pretty much a turnkey operation by the time we're able to move in there. So for the time that I've been involved here at Town Hall, it's certainly the best opportunity that I've seen come along to really take care of our firefighters. Our firefighters always seem to be the first ones headed out to mutual aid, and they're highly regarded from town to town throughout the region, and it's just a win-win for all of us to be able to give them a facility that they deserve.
Well, we have a long ways to go yet before we actually get into this, if the townspeople allow us to do that. That's why it's going to be very, very important for people to come to our meeting on the 26th. Also, if you have questions, please send them in to Lou, either by phone or contact any of your select people that you want to, and we'll try to answer those questions, or at least we would get the answers for you before or at the town meeting, so those can be answered. We don't know what all the questions could possibly be, so we might not have the answer right now, but if you contact us, we would be able to get that answer for you. It's going to be important to moving forward. And I also know there's going to be an issue with or questions coming up with what do we do with the old fire station? There's gonna be questions of what are we gonna do with a piece of land that Mr. Foster graciously donated to the town, and we've already removed the buildings. We don't have that answer right now. We're gonna be looking for townspeople for some input as to what we can do with it, with the existing, or the old fire station. I should say existing fire station. As well as what we could do with the lot that Mr. Foster donated to us. Whatever we do with that lot, we wanna make sure that we definitely do it in honor of Mr. Foster, Buck Foster, for all he has done for the town of Bernardston. So, again, with your thinking caps, we'll probably have start a committee to be looking at those two.
Planning board,
The planning board's gonna look at it?
well, we should all together.
Yeah, but I'm also looking at thinking about a committee of the townspeople as well to
Yeah.
start generating ideas of what we can do with it. And I think if we look back into our planning book,
Master plan?
master plan that we had done a few years back, in that plan, it was stating that probably the center village should be moving down Route 10. So I don't think that's ever gonna happen, folks. But anyways, the fire station will be there already, so if you allow us to do it. Please send in any questions, ask any one of the select people, and Lou, and we'll be happy to answer them, or contact Peter Shedd at the fire station, and he'd be happy to answer them. Okay, with that being said, let's move on to the next order of business, unless you guys want to add anything to it, Ken?
Nope, we're good.
Okay. Highway Department appointment. Yesterday, I was able to conduct 2 interviews with Brian Minor for a replacement for the highway garage position. And Brian has chosen one of the gentlemen, and I personally agree with him on this choice. And it would be up to the select board to decide if they want to appoint Rob Hunter of 6 Kidder Court in Northfield to become our newest member of the highway department.
And I know we did reach out to the past employers and everything was good with all of that. I'd make a motion to appoint Robert Hunter Jr. to the position of the Bernardston Highway Department, effective, is it July 1st or August? July
31st, it's a Monday.
2023.
Second.
Okay, motion made and seconded to appoint Robert Hunter as a highway laborer, truck driver, starting on July, no, 8/1/23. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, just another FYI, I guess, the FERCog has, do we have to sign this one too?
Yes, all 3 members.
Okay.
So we need a motion and a vote.
The accountant software agreement, the Council of Franklin County Council of Governments has sent along copies of the agreement for our continued use of the MIP accountant software. This is access is necessary so that Markham can close our FY23. Your pleasure, gentlemen.
So move to sign the agreement with the COG to continue the access to the MIP software for as long as necessary, but to close out the fiscal 23 books.
I'll second that.
Motion made and seconded to enter into an agreement with the Franklin County Council of Governments for their accountant software. Any further discussion?
I believe the fee is like $187.50 a quarter. It's not
Correct.
like we're talking
Yeah.
$10,000 or anything here. We're talking little dollars to have the access to our past data, which is pretty vital right now.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Sign up on that. Okay, our landfill monitoring agreement from Mark Popham has been sent to us. He has proposed the same as FY '23 of $8,080. And as people know, per Massachusetts state law, we have to monitor our wells over to the transfer station. They have to be tested annually, and we thought we were going to be out of that now, but I guess they're going to continue doing it. And I don't know for how long, they haven't really stated, but I think it's going to go on probably forever because it's a way for them to make a little bit of money.
Yeah, if they start to monitor for PFAS, that fee's gonna go up substantially.
So do I have a motion to accept this agreement for Mark?
So moved.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye. And he's held that fee for a lot of years, hasn't changed much.
Just one thing before we get into the town coordinator's report. As people ride through the center village, they can take a look at the, I think the great job that Snow and Company did on the front of the library and to the east side of it. And I think it looks great, and I want to thank them. They worked hard on a very hot, humid day to get that done, so hats off to that organization and the workers that actually did
I
the
would
work.
second that. It looks fantastic. They did a fantastic job.
It looks really good.
It just pops the whole, makes the front of the building look special.
Right, so it's, we got one thing halfway accomplished.
Still have some trees that come down around there, that's coming later in the month.
We're moving on. Okay, this gentleman, this person would like to have some time off.
Yes.
We can make that motion.
Do we need a motion?
Yes.
Okay. I would move to accept the request for time off.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now,
Thank you.
we'll move on to the town coordinator's report.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. You did steal a little bit of my thunder because I also was going to mention how awesome the front of the library looks.
Okay, I said it twice.
And yeah, it really pops. You know, Stan, you and I were down there yesterday, and you know, unfortunately, we don't know the names of a lot of the plants that are in down there, but just that little bit of work out front and along the side, it gives us a building we can be proud of. They really did a heck of a job, and as you said, they were out there by 7 o'clock in the morning, and they were still going strong 3, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They were finishing up, so a hot, humid day.
I went down there with Sal Grant, and he knew all the plants.
He's a master gardener.
Yeah.
I admire that. You know, earlier in my life, I used to be involved in that field, and at the time I learned the names of a lot of plants, but you know, now it's set it and forget it.
Now it's a plant.
Exactly. So to some financial news. I know in the past few weeks we've been talking about the reimbursement from the Joe Comerford earmark. That came in $100,000 back to the town. So A&F made good on that. So that's a little bit of good news. A little more good news. The state changed the method of distribution for RAP funding. So we got $104,227 to continue some road repairs, primarily that were affected by the winter, but that'd be best left up to Brian Miner for that. He also got a $74,000 reimbursement of Chapter 90 money. That's good, But the crown jewel of money that came back in, and the Heirloom Collective sales tax for the period of March through May was $45,107.03. So, continued good luck to our friends over on Northfield Road. I did speak with Dan Werner today regarding a survey of the town hall property. He said he was going to send me an actual estimate. He's not done that, but in our phone conversation, he said that he would love to do it. He will book it as soon as possible, and he's probably looking about $2,200. So far less than the $10,000 that have been kicked around from other people. So that could be another little bit of good news.
You know, I think Mr. Warner, 'cause,
Yeah,
we
really.
really need to have it done.
Yeah, so he's going to put us on the schedule.
Thank
And
you.
something else I touched on briefly while Jane was out here earlier. What I would like to see, and I've got to craft a memo for the department heads, for boards and committees. I want to get everybody to turn in either monthly or quarterly reports so that I, as the liaison, can keep you better informed as to what's going on. Chris, you're here every day, so planning board's not going to be a problem. But for the committees to meet infrequently, but out of the clear blue, and when the Cushman Hall Committee was here 2 weeks ago, it's one of those groups that they do a lot of the work on their own, but then suddenly, now they're talking about wanting money for studies and everything else. I certainly wouldn't be opposed to that, because to put a professional stamp of approval on something is really good. But what I would like to see are the departments and the boards and committees all turn in periodic reports so that the select board is really up to speed on things. So that's something else I'm working on in all my free time. Also, last but not least, got a very nice email just before we started tonight from AJ Bear from Snow and Sons. And he said he's going to come over. He's not had the opportunity to see the final results yet, but he did want to take the time to follow up, and if there were any questions or comments or anything, and he certainly wants to hear if their work has met our expectations. So I will certainly be following up with him on that. And he also provided us a nice little watering procedure, so that has been forwarded to the library, because I know they said that they've got volunteers to get that work done over there. We've got it looking really good. I'd love to keep it that way.
I'm sure they will.
Very good, and that is all I have, Mr. Chairman.
Can I
As
just-
always, I appreciate your time.
Can I just ask Lou one question, Mr.
Yeah.
Chairman? Can you just wrap up the email we received from Pioneer and the grant they received?
Oh, yeah, that's, let me just bring that up, because that was
Pioneer
huge.
received a $141,000 security grant,
Oh, yeah.
so that's gonna take care of like the window film, which we committed money toward, the door locks, the swipe system. So we'll be getting that money, we won't have to spend it now. At least
Yeah, that's-
my-
Are we sure of that?
No.
That's what-
Well,
That's
Jordan Burns sent out an email at 9:30 last night,
I saw that.
writing to share the press release announcing that the Pioneer Valley Regional School District has been awarded a total of $141,850 through the Safer Schools and Communities Initiative. Through a competitive grant process, 42 districts in Massachusetts received funding for priority safety upgrades. PVRSD received the 4th largest allocation in the Commonwealth out of the 42 recipients. Security upgrades will include the following at each building: new key card access system, window film, and security cameras. So to your point, Brian, this is stuff that we had talked about maybe committing ARPA money to get that done. So I think we need to close the loop on that with Jordan and see if that's going to free up some of our ARPA commitment now.
And if we have, yeah, that's be very important to know.
Right, for sure.
Do we know where that grant is for the playground, or?
That has not been issued yet. The findings of the state has not been issued. That'll be mid to late August on that.
We discussed a piece of property on Brattleboro Road that had a lot of junk cars and stuff, you know, I thought a deadline was coming up where they had to have something done or we were gonna take action.
Is that number 72?
Yeah.
The CPHS, the Cox Health Department, issued an order to correct over there. They were going to follow up with a 30-day inspection. The Board of Health met last week while I was away, but in reviewing the meeting minutes, there's a comment that this could end up going to housing court. So I don't want to put misinformation out there. I've not had the opportunity to talk to Chairman Colleen on it yet.
Could you try to get an update for us for our next meeting?
Yes, sir.
Before that's going. Is there anything else coming?
Yes.
Ken.
The Council on Aging reports 3 grants that they've received in the past month. June 14th, the Fred Wells grant for $1,000. They're going to use it for the yoga program and the pop-up pantry. June 30th, the DOT Helping Hands grant, mini grant for $250 for a new printer. And the real winner here is on July 7th. They got a $25,444 grant for the development and implementation of outreach programs to expand capacity to strengthen the safety net and provide enhanced social service support for older adults. So that's going to go to fund a couple of the staff positions at the senior center, so that burden won't fall back on the town. And the remaining $2,000 will be used for supplies at the senior center. So, significant monies inbound. Kudos to the staff there for, particularly Jennifer, for working as hard as she did to get these grants.
For sure. Sweet news.
Okay, I did meet with Tanya Campbell from Markham to discuss the issues that we talked about the other day, which is going to be one of the articles on the town warrant, is to increase the treasurer's salary by $1,500 for additional work. And I went through all the items and Tanya agreed with all of them, that this is Susan's going to have to do this stuff.
Okay.
So I think we're on a good step there. We were able to meet the person that key enters the warrants and stuff, and it was good to have them in the town hall the other day. They're very nice, and they're right to the point, and I think we're going to have a good relationship. Tonight was a little bit messed up looking at the new reports, but that's normal. That's natural. You're looking at something new, you have to get used to it, and I'm sure we will. Okay, so that's all I have on that. Jay?
Yes, I would like to add to that Deborah was not only here yesterday, but she was here today, and she left about 5:45.
Yeah, Ken and I both got to meet her today too.
Two full days.
Well, I'm sure that'll calm down after they get
Yeah,
used.
it's crazy. I mean, I've been on the phone with them off and on all day.
Now, do you have anything for us?
I have 3 items.
Okay?
The first is to transfer from salaries and wages to general expense of the police department, $6,500. That's covering fuel, and he had his men order uniforms because he had the money in the 23 account to do that, and the price of uniforms are going up, and I think he told me the date was like mid-July. It's by the 1st of August. The price of uniforms are going up substantially, so he took advantage of it.
I mean, I can make a motion.
Oh,
I think all these we have a motion, right?
Yes.
We have a motion I would make a motion to transfer $6,500 to the general expenses account from the salary and wages account for the purpose of,
Of the police department,
Of the
or
police
else read
department.
the, or else read the account numbers.
I'll second that motion.
Okay, all those in favor?
aye?
And then you each have to sign it. Can I tell you what the next one is while you're signing? The next one is snow and ice payroll from the transfer station to the snow and ice account in the amount of $156.31, which is a steal considering the winter we had.
Yeah, this
We estimated, Brian
Brian did a nice
estimated
job
that
with what he did.
really close.
So I would make a motion to transfer $156.31 to the snow and ice account from the transfer station account for purposes.
I'll second that.
To the salaries and wages account of snow, of,
Does it say that? Should
yeah,
it say that?
snow and ice and the appropriation number covers that. So
Okay.
We really need to,
I'll second Ken's motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
and the last one is, again, snow and ice, and this is, miscellaneous expense. Salt and sand primarily, $13,514.31. And we just didn't guess at how much we were gonna need of that and how much the price was gonna go up.
All right, motion to transfer $13,514.31 to the snow and ice account, again from the transfer station account.
I'll second that.
All those in favor?
Aye.
There was a couple of others submitted, but they should have been submitted for transfers from the reserve fund, so we voted to move it from the reserve fund, and I didn't bring them out here. We have, six transfers from the reserve fund. Accounts that were overspent.
Anything you didn't expect or not?
Well, the big one, of course, was Medicare. Let me get them and tell you what they are.
Okay, yeah, because of she's in there, if I'm looking at what Gilbert talked about, that $140,000 from the school, that would give us back approximately $39,000
That's a big chunk.
between the door access and the window film.
Yeah.
Which would be huge for us.
When I read that email, I thought it meant they were turning back the money.
Yeah, we're supposed to close out. We should do it in
So there's $1,192.66 in streetlights.
Yeah, I'll probably go with it.
Yep. And the BMC contracting account that we've known all year has been $160 on hold. And then the Medicare expense is the big one. She estimated this back in the middle of June and estimated what she thought the final payroll would be, how it would affect this. So she asked for $2,206 to be transferred. The line item deficit tonight is $2,205.95.
Wow.
Kudos to her.
Sure.
And then the other one is $19,439 that needs to be transferred to the public buildings general expense that says, I'm not sure that's the exact title we have on the books, but it's to cover stuff that had been charged to that account, the cost of, from Verizon when we switched over to Comcast, the Canon printer cost, higher energy costs, the septic system at the library, And are all those bills in on the library?
We did pay Bobby Dean's, I don't know if we got the electrical one from Barnaby Young yet for the,
I don't believe we've gotten that,
so there might be a little more coming on that.
yeah.
I didn't notice it on Bobby's bill anyway. Unless it
No,
came
and
in.
I looked at his bill very carefully, so that was about 16,600 on his, and no, I've not gotten one
Unless it
from.
was in, but we did approve a bill for Barnaby Young 2 weeks ago. Unless it
Okay.
was in that one, I don't remember.
Okay, we need to figure that out, because if,
Brandon would know that one for the
Right.
power.
if there are bills that haven't come in on that, we know what they are, we need to encumber the funds.
I
Unless
think
you're
that's the
gonna,
only other one we had for that, right? It was Bobby
Should be.
Dean and the power for the high level, so we knew when to have a pump.
We do have Palmer Electric for some stuff,
That was for the mini splits of the library, it was just shy of 3,600.
3562, yeah.
That was the school, Brian.
Right, mini split stuff,
Yeah.
yeah. I'm pretty sure it was Barnaby Young, because Barnaby
Yes,
paid Barnaby on the last warrant.
okay,
But it was
I can
working
research that.
Getting rid of the knob and tube, and it was doing some of that work for,
Okay.
as part of that grant.
I thought that was all
oh,
on there.
that was gonna be part of the grant, so
I
Then
don't
we
know about
don't
the
have to-
septic piece, though. I know he asked if Bobby would work with him, if we were okay with it, and he said, yes, go ahead and do it.
oh,
I just never heard back if, who ended up doing the wiring on the tank.
I think you're right, I think it was Barnaby did it.
Pretty sure it was Barnaby Young Electric.
I can see that in
so he might have, you paid him one bill, but he may have another
He
bill.
may. It may have been in the other one, and I'm just forgetting.
there.
Yeah, I'll research
It
it.
wasn't a lot of work, so maybe he just buried it up in his other bill.
I did let Barnaby into the library with the electrical inspector to do final inspections. Lou was on vacation when they came, so.
So I'm sure he did the tank at the same time.
Right.
And the other one is $1,200, and this is a lift rental that the tree warden had, and it somehow, the bill was submitted, but it was not put on any warrant, and that was discovered, within the last few days, and so we added it to this.
You should be seeing another one for a lift. Actually, she's saying it's gonna get a lift in July.
Yeah, late July, right, for the library. We'll cut that tree down.
But that's gonna come in.
Yeah, 24. 24.
Okay, anything
So
else?
Does that clear out all of the negative accounts that we know of?
I believe it does cover all of them.
Okay.
Jane asked to post a meeting for next Monday, so I posted one for the Finance Committee at 6:30 and separately for the Select Board at 6:30, because I believe that's the last day that we can make any movement that we might have to.
The state extended it to the 17th, since the 15th is on the weekend. And so today I talked to Markham, and I said, I've been thinking about this, and I think we should post a meeting for Monday in case, we don't see it before tonight, because they're still moving things around, and I think we're gonna be able to cancel, but until tomorrow.
Yeah, I better be sure.
Okay,
17th.
6:30.
Yeah, next
6:30.
one.
Correct.
anything else to come before the meeting tonight?
Make a motion to be adjourned?
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Good night.
Good night, folks.
Woody.
Did you get all the information you needed